Hey y'all, Faith Kelly and Caswyn Moon here, and well, we've been home for a few days now from the 2025 Still Alive tour, and this is the tour recap video. And then basically what's going to happen here is we're going to tell you all about this tour, kind of look back on it. We actually have some questions on our Instagram. We ran like a little questionnaire thing, and we had a few really cool questions come up that we're going to answer after we're done. What would you say? Looking back, reflecting, nostalging? I don't know.
Reflecting.
We're going to reflect on this.
Reflecting on...
it's the recap. So this is just us kind of talking about this crazy 9th tour that we just got home from. And then at the very end of the video...
Where are my sweet shoes that Devin got me?
When we got home, you know, there's always a stack of mail. But to my surprise, there's a giant... I'll show you. There was a giant box when we got home. So at the end of it, he knows what's in it. I don't know what's in it. We're going to unbox it, and I'm going to see what's in that big box. So that's going to be at the end of the video. Make sure you stick around for that because I'm super excited. First, I will just say we got home, what is it? Wednesday now. It's Wednesday. We got home
today Wednesday?
Sunday evening. And Monday, I woke up with like all of this post-tour energy, man. Like, I was on freaking fire, dude. Like, it was like, oh my God, we're going to clean this. We're going to do this to the house. And we're going to do this laundry and all this. And then Tuesday, I woke up and it was just like, I crashed. It was just like, the whole entire, we were going to make this video on Tuesday and it wasn't going to happen. Because yesterday was full of naps.
Napping.
I had to go get like a little bit of blood work done. I just wanted to find out my blood type.
Look at those lilacs, man.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. And, you know, just get a little checkup done. And my doctor was like, you just need to go home and take a nap. Which is, I did. I napped a lot yesterday.
She was prescribed a nap and some juice.
A nap and juice.
By the doctor.
Yeah, well, also... What I gotta say is this tour, if you've been watching along with us, we were in the desert, we were down in Florida, and as soon as we got to North Carolina, it was like pollen season. It is like full on spring up here in the Catskills. It's awesome. Today, I'm actually really relieved that it's kind of a gray, rainy day because
spring is springing.
We needed that pollen to be like watered down a little bit. It literally looked like it was snowing yesterday. There was so much pollen. So first of all, thank you guys for watching along and being on this journey with us. Before we get into the Catskill shenanigans of the summer, we just kind of want to look back on this adventure, which now we can finally say it was the best tour ever because now we're home and we've had a few days cuddling with the cat, and now we can finally say that. You can't really say that when you're 3 days away from home or 2 weeks away from home. You only say that when you finally made it home safe because anything can happen out there. So, that's the, pollen I was talking about. So basically we left on March 29th, which is crazy because that seems like a very long time ago. And our first show was at the Circle in Hanover, which is one of our favorite venues to play out in Pennsylvania. Kind of around where I grew up, and, we freaking love that place. Thank you guys for always having us there. It's such a cool way to kick off the tour because it's a nice long set. You get to kind of breathe. You get to, you know, it's not super far away from home, but you still get a little bit down the way.
If you wanted to chicken out, you could still turn around.
If we wanted to chicken out, I would have chickened out at Backyard Taco Fest because the very next day.
That's when the excitement began.
Yeah. The very next day, Backyard, we were supposed to be in Indianapolis.
Bar, man. I was looking forward to having tacos with Jablonski.
Yeah, I was too. And I was also looking forward to Kirby's, In the Kettle, in the Pet Connection. This tour started off similar to how 2025 started off. Messed up.
A little rocky.
A little what the hell, what's going on here. So, you know, we started off at the Circle and it was such a wonderful show. And then
we were like, wow, this is going to be great.
This is going to be awesome. It's going to go according to plan, everything. And basically, we started driving, and we're looking at the weather. And as we're looking at the weather, there's like this giant call for tornadoes.
I love the sound at the Circle.
Yeah, me too.
That stone wall,
Mm-hmm.
the wood floor.
I'd like to get there sometime in the summer so we could play out back too.
Yeah.
Because we're always there in the winter. Pretty much because when we tour down south to Bisbee or Texas or Florida, it's in our winter. So Pennsylvania, that includes you. You might be one gardening zone off, but you're still pretty chilly. So we were making way the 8-hour drive out to Indianapolis, which is going to be our first official Indiana show. We have done a open mic in Indiana, but we never played an actual show.
I was psyched because it's one of my favorites, a house party.
Yeah.
I love playing house shows, and so like we were going to hang with Jablonski, and he was going to introduce us to some friends. And
Yeah.
he had a drum kit fucking set up.
There's gonna be tacos.
There's gonna be tacos.
But nothing about the weather screamed backyard taco fest
No.
because it was like they were saying apple-sized hail and tornadoes, and Indiana had never seen weather like this. So
well, here's the thing, y'all. I don't do tornadoes. Okay.
No.
I don't even do tornado warnings, and all my friends out in Kansas, man, y'all are.
This wasn't even
junkies.
Kansas yet. This
I know.
wasn't even in Kansas.
It wasn't even Kansas, but the thing is like I don't even do tornado warnings. So, I apologize.
They did get some tornadoes.
I chickened out.
Well, so what we ended up doing is we ended up parking we drove through Ohio as much as we could to where the red line of like hellish tornadoes was disappearing, and we stayed in one spot.
We ended up right in the middle of it.
And it was actually we took cover underneath a gas station for a while.
The chaos was all around, but not where
Just
we were.
look, guys, if you jump back onto our second Side Pony Adventure 2024 and you've seen what happened to us when we were driving through Texas and the freaking tornado that we saw,
I'm convinced
we don't mess around, dude. It's like I don't mess around with tornadoes. Rain, cool.
You know what it is? Our Luminard watchers utilized the HARP project to deionize the atmosphere right over top of where we were.
That's exactly what happened.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah. Thanks, Illuminati.
Yeah.
So we had to cancel that show, and it was a bummer. But then it became even more of a bummer. So we're like, all right, well, once the storm passed, we slept in the van, we woke up, we're driving through Indiana, we're seeing trees everywhere, we're seeing porta-johns everywhere.
Yeah.
That was nasty. We saw a porta-john over the highway.
Where they weren't supposed to be, not like on the highway for the construction guys, but like in the highway. Like,
Yeah.
I hope nobody was in it when it flew through the air.
Yeah.
That would suck.
I doubt it.
Can you imagine that?
I don't know if they were working during the tornado warnings. But because it's not, Indiana isn't Kansas. Now, we're driving to Kansas, and we did have a day off. We had March 31st off to get from Indiana to Kansas. And once again, it's the day before, and we're watching the weather, and we're getting closer and closer to Wichita, which was going to be the Halfway Decent album release show at Kirby's. And once again, we're watching the weather, and it was just worse. It was like two slivers of red freaking tornado warning zones just coming through all of Kansas.
In our defense, so we don't seem like total chicken shits. Our friends out in Kansas, this is like they're used to it.
Y'all are adrenaline junkies.
Yeah, they're like, they get a tornado warning, they're still out getting ready to tee off and do 18 holes.
We saw that too. We were driving through, our phones are going off, tornado warning, and these chicks are playing golf.
Yeah, man. I'm like, okay. So maybe they got a little, like, somewhere to run into. I don't know, or they know the routine.
Well, it was Mandy from the Kettle when she was like, well, we have basements and we're in a van. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no basement for us to go in.
I'm not taking chances, man. I'm getting to Bisbee, dude.
Well, and the other thing is like,
like that was my whole thing was like, it's like putting a carrot in front of a donkey, man. I will walk us all the way to Bisbee, Arizona. That was my main goal.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I got to get through here, tornado free, so that I could go see
our friends.
Chris
Although
and
I did
Marsha
miss seeing our friends in Beloit. That was a tough one, man. So we ended up.
I was getting back to that badassery. Let's put it that way.
Basically, what ended up happening is we had to make the tough call to let go of the Kirby show and the Kettle and the Pet Connection, because as we're looking at the weather, we had realized that we could zip through it while it was all in like green and orange and totally avoid it. But that's the thing, is it was a tough call, because it's like, oh well, the next day it might be cool, but then it's like, but what if we don't find a place to take cover? What if we're in Wichita and
we're like, we got to go see Flickr.
There's, once again, what do they say, golf ball sized hails?
Yeah, apple sized. Then it went from golf ball to softball, and I was like, so this is just normal then, I guess.
Dude. So Kansas, we love you. We're sorry we didn't make it this time.
We chickened out.
No, we didn't chicken out. It was funny. Mandy was like,
I trusted my gut, man.
Mandy's like, well, I was like, we don't do tornadoes. She goes, it's okay. We don't do your snowstorms.
And I said, well, snowstorms, we have plow guys that come out and plow our roads, and you have tornado guys that come and pick up your house.
See, but even Beloit don't get tornadoes like some of the rest of it was like, these were some major messed up storms, and we wanted to survive. We wanted to, we didn't want to jinx the 2025 Still Alive tour.
Dude, we bobbed and weaved our way through the Midwest.
We weren't storm chasers. We were storm dodgers.
Yeah.
So then that gave us enough time to hightail it out. It was actually really crazy, because when we were driving through Kansas, right before we hit that Oklahoma line, and like as the storms were forming, you could literally see the tunnels forming like hundreds of miles away.
Funnels or tunnels?
Funnels forming. Funnels forming in
the distance.
Yeah, and every time we would like turn, we would go a different direction from them, and it was really exciting. There was not many piss breaks.
Inching 5 miles every time we went right.
Oh, dude. It was crazy.
Well, finally we got it over the ice wall.
Would not recommend storm dodging if you can avoid it, but would still recommend touring and just being smart. You know, if you got to cancel a show for your life, you can always go back to that venue. Your friends, if they're good friends, they'll understand. And you know, our Kansas homies, they totally got it, man. It was like, they're like, well, you guys don't got a basement. Nope, we don't. We got this van, and we can't afford,
us through some shit.
We can't afford to let anything happen to this van. Although I think one of the hails was maybe the culprit as to why we had to replace this, because we did run through a few hailstorms.
We got hail bombed.
We had some hail. Oh, I just spat on myself.
You know what though? But Lulu got us through Idaho.
That was scary.
And Colorado.
Yeah.
That pass.
Yeah, that was she's a good van, man.
Yeah, man.
So from there, we hightailed it out, and we made it out to Silver City, New Mexico. And I remember on our day off, you basically slept, like, because you freaking hightailed it across the country.
I know.
To get away from those tornadoes. And Mr. Moon was tired, but Faith Kelly found some hot springs, and I remember going for a jog and made some great friends, and got to go to that cool little art room exhibit. You can see it on one of our previous videos. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, man, we made it to Silver City. We found Flickr, and that was really freaking cool. We got to stay, was it the Murray? No, the Murray was the one we stayed in last time. We stayed at that awesome hotel that was hooked up for us. But we played Little Toad Creek with Flickr, and all I can really say about that show is, Flickr, I love you, and I love your community, and you need to go on a nationwide tour.
Yeah, man, we brought in a crowd that night.
That was an insane, that was an insane show. And
there were a few hundred people out there, and you know, Flickr is a jewel of the community, man. Yeah,
so Silver City, take care of Flickr. Seriously, I mean it. You know who I'm talking to. Anyways, y'all. So, yeah, it was so cool. Basically just playing a show with Flickr, and he's one of our favorite musicians. John, we got to get him out here to Ohio. But Flickr, you know, honestly, we've been spreading the good word of Flickr across the country. You could easily book a tour to get to Ohio. You could fly, or, you know, but I understand, like, I know all of our friends in North Carolina want you. We got friends in Florida that want you. We got friends in Texas that want you. Flickr is a wanted man, and I'm just so grateful that he invited us out to Silver City.
Yeah, who was it we were talking to? Oh, yeah. I have to introduce Flickr to Parker.
Well, and the band that we played with is Still Pending.
Yeah.
We were showing them videos, and they were like, who is this guy? This is legit. So then we finally made it to Bisbee, and we played the Thirsty Lizard first, and that was so freaking cool because we never got to play the Thirsty Lizard. It's outside of Bisbee a little bit in McNeil.
And the Wally bombs come rolling in.
I know, and it was just like, oh, my friends, it's so good to see you guys.
Was Stanhope there when we pulled up?
No.
That was last time.
Yeah, that was the last time, and he did get to witness the Jello wrestling, but that's later. That's later. We won't talk about the Jello wrestling yet. So yeah, we made it to the Thirsty Lizard. We played this awesome show. It was so freaking cool. Thank you guys again for booking us. It was kind of our Bisbee kickoff show, even though we weren't technically in Bisbee. Then we checked in first to the Inn at Castle Rock, and as y'all know, the Inn at Castle Rock is our home away from home. Oh, I get like heavy, happy feelings when I think about the Inn at Castle Rock because I
like waking up in the morning, going out and having some coffee and watching Kevin open up the Badassery.
Yeah.
Wondering what shirt he's gonna have on that day.
Yeah.
That Janet picked out for him.
Watching Bisbee wake up from behind that wall. It's funny, every time we're like, oh, let's move to Bisbee, I'm like, I don't want to buy a house. I just want to live at the inn. Shoot. So it was actually, so that day, the next day, April 6th, we played Bisbee Badassery, and that was our first show there, because as this week in Bisbee developed, we did make another show, which we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, that was just a really awesome show. We got to play on the roof.
Yeah.
And getting off the roof to do the runaround, because then I ran into the inn. If you guys don't know, if you haven't seen the show, there's a song that I usually leave the stage and I go for a little jog depending on the setup of the venue. I'm also, if you can't tell, I'm doing my hair right now. I got some auditions after this, so I'm trying to let it dry and look nice. So yeah, man, the Bisbee Badassery, the Inn at Castle Rock, that whole nook up there is just like, it feels like home.
It's a good nook.
We love you guys, Kevin, Jana. It was funny, actually, yesterday when I went just for my little health checkup, because, before and after tour, you want to make sure you're good. The doctor's doing the thing, where he takes out his little hearing thing and he's like checks up on your back, and they listen to your heartbeat, and he's like, you can't take the wild out of the West. Huh. Now he goes, well, I guess you can because you're here right now. And I was like, oh, I went on a Bisbee Badassery. So yeah, man. And then the next day, we actually took a little road trip out to Tucson, where we played the Music Box Lounge. And this place was so freaking cool. This little blackbird's taking a little bath in the puddle on the road. It's so freaking spring, I can't even handle it. When we left here, there was like piles of snow, and it was all like brown and kind of mucky. And now we came back home and it was spring, and that's exactly how I wanted that to happen. But we went to the Music Box in Tucson, and that was such a freaking cool show. It was our first show in Tucson. It was weird because there was like a big work meeting that and all these people came out for the show. Like at first I was like, oh, it's going to be a chill Monday night show. And then suddenly the place was packed. We made a bunch of new friends. Tucson, we love you. I can't wait to come back. I can't wait to see your cacti. It was just a really magical night. And I think, that was, this Robin is looking at me like, what you say about Tucson? I said, I love Tucson. So, from there, let me look at this. We had a few days off in Bisbee, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And if I remember correctly, on the 10th, I think we took it pretty easy on the 8th and the 9th and just kind of farted around town. I'm pretty sure I went to Sonia's workout class on one of those days. I definitely went to Sonia's burlesque class on the 6th, because that was a Sunday, because she has burlesque classes on Sunday, y'all. You should go check it out. It's a lot of fun. And she has a functional weight training class that she does, I think, every day, multiple times throughout the week. If you're in Bisbee, it's so freaking fun just walking downtown and taking a little class and making some friends. It was awesome. So I think on the 10th, we did go to that open mic at the Royale. Was hosted by Ian the comedian.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun.
We opened the show that night.
Yeah. That was so much stinking fun. And shout out to Mike over at the Royale. He has let us, he's featured in 2 of our videos coming up. The 11/11, which we'll talk about that more at the end of this. short film that's coming out this weekend. We shot a scene there, and then he's also going to be part of the Me Without You music video, which was, it's really cool. I can't wait to edit that, probably next week. So from there, man, also Bisbee, your comedy scene is lit. You know what I mean? Like, for this little small town, like, you just wouldn't expect all the music, all the artists, all the photographers, all the comedy, all the good fine dining that's, you know, reasonably priced.
Picture of RJ. Look what he's got in his hand.
Oh my God. Merry Christmas, everyone. Speaking of Faith and Christmas, where should Faith and Christmas go this season? Let me know in the comments below. I
miss these guys, man.
I miss them too. We are starting to suss out the rest of the year, but we will talk about that at the end of this video. Because right now we're on this big tour and we're only here, so we still got to talk about this and do an unboxing and answer your questions. So this will probably be a nice long video wrapping up the tour. So from then on the 11th, we took the 5-hour drive up to Durham. Was it 5 or 6 hours from Bisbee to Durham? And Durham is like Bisbee's mining town sister city, is what they call it. Because Durham, if you know about the mining history of Bisbee, they were made by the same companies. So like there was a mine up in Durham and there's a mine in Bisbee, and they were built by the same mining companies. So there's a lot of similar architecture and similar vibes. But I'm just gonna be real, 'cause I don't really, because of the events of this weekend that I'm actually talking about right now, I've given less fucks. So Jerome is a little more, there's a lot of fine, expensive dining and wineries, and they used to call it the Wicked City. I was probably the wickedest thing that's happened to that city in a minute. It was very touristy, and Bisbee is touristy, but in a different kind of way.
Bisbee's got a little grit to it.
Yeah, man. You know, Bisbee's got, it's really beautiful. Like, it's beauty, and it's like, it has its tourism, but it still has the Gulch. It definitely still has, it has its dirt to it, man. And that's what I love it. It's good.
It's good, clean, earthy, dirty dirt.
Yeah. Well, it's classic rock and roll dirt, yeah. Man. It's Bisbee is so real and genuine. I love you guys. I can't wait to get back. We're scheming it. We'll talk about that at the end. So then we went and we played the Spirit Room in Jerome, which is a place we'd been wanting to play for a very long time. And the Spirit Room was awesome. We made a lot of cool friends. The room sounded awesome. Very haunted building, you can tell. We did stay the night in Jerome.
Great artwork.
But I love that artwork. We did stay the night in Jerome, but I think next time we could hit Jerome and move on, like, because it wasn't like Bisbee that had that like pull. Like I thought we'd go to Jerome and like fall in love and never want to leave, but I just wanted to get back to Bisbee. I'm not gonna lie. So I woke up the next morning in Jerome, and while I was on my jog, I got the call that my pappy passed away, and that was that was heavy while we were away on this weekend. It is what it is, man, you know. So I was connecting with some roots there, and it was intense. But that next day, pulled ourselves together, had some good cries, and we went to Aztec Coffee in Overgard, which was, this town was so weird. I wish we got to spend more time there, because I wanted to see what the heck was going on. And it seems like there's a lot of little towns up in those mountains. It's like way up in the mountains. It's totally not a desert town.
It's this weird, cool little cut off from a lot of things, little town. Man, and the bartender there,
badass she's bartender. Just awesome, man. And we made some really cool friends.
Cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah, they fed us, they drank us, they let us play in their clubhouse.
I would definitely go back there. And yeah, Aztec was a lot of fun. We ended up
not what I expected.
No, it was. That's the thing, is none of these things are ever as you expect, though. You know, it's things can go according to plan, but your plans are never going to be what you expected them to be. That's what I've learned touring. So from there, Aztec was great. we slept in the van. We were totally van lifing it for this weekend. We were very homesick for. Oh, actually, it was opposite. When we were in Durham, I got the call that it was not looking good, and so that Overguard show was, I remember, for me, a very
intense gig.
It was an intense, trying not to cry gig. But the cool thing is music is very healing. There's some shows that you're like, this is full on a show. And then there are some shows that are definitely for you to just process things. Because the next morning it was on our way to Miami Loco that I had gotten the news that he had actually passed. And it was like, wow, the freaking festival that we booked this whole tour around, now I have to show up and not lose my shit. But then at the same time, it's almost relieving when you know someone you love is going to pass, knowing that they're out of that pain and that it is finally over.
We pull up in Miami, the first thing we see is Flickr.
So how are you? Yeah, with his whole
with his accordion and his rig, and it was like, all right.
And then we saw Kate Flanagan from freaking Big Dick.
Kate showed up, and then you know.
Then you go,
okay,
everything's all right.
And then the sound guy.
Yeah.
What is your name?
If anyone remembers the sound guy's name from Miami Loco, he was so good.
Oh, God.
And we let him play with that reverb on my set, and it was just so.
He became part of the band.
It was so cool. It was like I had my delay pedal all over again, but he knew exactly when to control it and when to hit it.
He was in the band that day.
He was.
He was.
And I also, since it was Miami Loco and Miami is in Arizona, I decided to wear my halfway decent bikini, which you can buy in the pop-up shop, on stage. And I came out on the stage and I was like, oh my God, I thought this was Miami spring break. And I started playing the set. Which, if you're going through something, let me just tell you, if you wear a string bikini on stage, it's going to take your mind off of what you're going through, because you're thinking, is everything in there? Are the girls in there all right? Okay, nothing's hanging out where it shouldn't be. It allowed me to really
focus on something else.
Play the show, play the music in the show. So then we were going to van camp outside of Miami, but this was a super windy, dusty kind of day. Miami is attached to an active mine. So there, and you can tell because it is very dusty. It's very, when you're driving around the city, it's very worked in, like people are working there. And we were going to camp, but we were covered in dust and grime and a little bit of sadness and grief. And we needed
dust and grime and a little bit of sadness and grief.
It's a whole, you know, I'm going to write a whole album about this tour, I swear. So then we started driving home. We had off that next day, the 14th. And what we ended up doing is we called the inn at Castle Rock. We weren't supposed to get there until later on the 14th, but they had a room for us and they let us get in there late at night. I can't believe that he ended up staying up late for us to get there, because we were the only ones there. But you know, I told him about my loss and they were just like, come home. Yeah, welcome home.
Chris waited up for us like a family, and then he met us at the door, gave us a hug, said welcome home.
I'm trying not to cry thinking about it right now. It did feel like
it was a very sweet thing, man. And
just to have a place to lay down and just go, what a freaking crazy weekend.
Just to have somebody staying up waiting for you to get there.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
It's especially when you're on the other side of the country. You know, it's you go, what the heck? So we basically stayed there. We passed out, and then Monday, I think we just kind of walked around Bisbee a little bit, hung out, and then we ended up finding ourselves at the Badassery.
Look at.
Oh yeah, he's also like cleaning the van right now, and this is from Miami Loco Festival.
That was just from the blinker.
Yeah. So it was Monday night, the 14th, that we ended up at Bisbee Badassery, and I was hanging out with Kevin and Jana, and I told them about what I was going through. And grief you don't decide when your grief strikes you when you lose someone. So I was in the bathroom, and that's when it just, that one little alone moment, and he was making me those liquid marijuanas, and then I came out and I was crying, and then there was hugs, and then there was homemade wine, and then there was moonshine, and Bucky and Jazzy were there.
And there were hangovers.
Then there was a hangover, but then what really ended up happening was we poured a Coors Light out for Pappy outside, and we were crying, and there was hugging and
crying
and falling and freaking. It was what every Irish person needs when they grieve. You know, you need to cry, and then you pick yourself up and keep going. So Bisbee Badassery, they're truly like family to us, along with the inn over there, where it's like, I was so grateful to be surrounded by that love.
Me and Jan just stand there looking at each other like, oh shit.
What do we do?
We gotta take care of this shit tonight.
So with that, it was April 15th, and that was when all the shows freaking started, man. We had Jean's Place, and from Jean's Place, that was such a cool show because we got to see Devin. That was the day that Devin and Antoinette became besties.
I'm wearing the shoes right now.
He's wearing your shoes right now, Devin.
I love these shoes.
That was the day, man. That was, we got, oh my God, those grilled cheeses at Jean's. They make these freaking grilled cheeses. Oh my God.
It's like, oh Jesus, grilled cheeses.
Well, and sometimes when you're at a bar, all you really want is just like a freaking good snack. And Katie and Alex know, man, just give the people grilled cheese.
A good grilled cheese.
So we played that show, and then we ended up hightailing it over to Hitching Post, which is a sister business to Jean's, owned by Katie and Alex. And Hitching Post was having this open mic on that night, and it was so freaking fun. I got to jam with some Bisbee locals, and it was just it was such a cool open mic, man. Yeah, man, hosted by Mike Montoya. It was just awesome. I love that crew. The next day, actually, I lied. This is where we inserted a show, because back it up just a little bit, when we were all drunk and crying and stuff, before all that crying, there's 2 Bisbee show insertions.
You and Kevin were having some wild ideas.
Yeah, Kevin and I were like,
we were brainstorming.
We were brainstorming, and I was like, oh, we could get some bands, and he's like, why don't you guys come play next weekend, the 420 weekend? And I was like, he's like, you can play all afternoon. And I was like, man, we had a 3-hour show that Saturday. I was like, I don't know if we should do 2 3-hour shows. Like, it's a lot. And so then I was like, we can make a mini festival. We could do Badass Bicycle Day, because Bicycle Day is 4/19. And I was like, oh, Bucky, you can do it. He's right here. And yeah, it all came together. So hold on, I'll tell you about that in a second. But
Bucky, in his defense, had just introduced us to Jazzy.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then they were introduced to the homemade wine as well.
Oh my God.
And the crying and the whiskey and the...
That's how Jazzy met us. Oh my
liquid
God.
Liquid marijuana. And Jazzy's like, wow, man. She was cool,
These
dude.
were a couple of nut jobs.
You know
over
what though?
here.
And everybody had a very good night.
Yeah. So on the 16th, we did insert a show at Alleycat Coffee Company. It was from 10 to noon, and that's honestly, we were just like, we just want to play for coffee, because when we had hit them up, they're like, oh, our we really want to have you, but our budget for music this month they had reached it,
What about a slice of avocado toast?
It's like, I just want some avocado toast and coffee, and we made I made a really big young fan. That was awesome. And
you got yourself a gig.
Well, it's I got myself a future opening slot for a future musician. That's how I look at that. You don't know who any of these little kids are going to be when they grow up. I'll probably be opening for them.
Yep.
But yeah, we played Alleycat Coffee, and it was such a fun freaking gig. Man, Kelsey, John, we love y'all. If anyone's watching this, go over there and eat a slice of avocado toast for me, and get yourself a chai latte.
Yeah.
Or whatever the heck John is making, because I had one of his lattes too with the pistachio.
He's a wizard.
Was so freaking good. I love them so much, and that was a pop-up gig, but it was one of my favorite pop-up gigs of the whole entire tour. Well, both of these are. So then, hey, hold on one second. All right, y'all. So after that, actually, that was the day my sister came up, and it was really cool to just be able to show my sister Bisbee and walk around and have a little bit of time together, especially over my pap. So that's basically how the rest of that afternoon went. And then the next day, the 17th, was movie night with the Wanderers at the Royale. And we got to play a little cocktail set at 5. And then we watched Abaddon's Pit at 7. And then we watched Walkaway at 9. And that was a whole lot of fun.
Westward came by.
And we also shot some music video, too. We packed a lot of time in that. Man, we had a lot of fun with Westward that night. Holy crap, man. We stayed up so late. Oh, my God.
You got a pair of tweezers over there?
Let me see. I might.
Might take them in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in that slow cleaning the van up. I thought I had some in here.
There's like a Tic Tac or something in there. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're slowly getting there with this van. But it was cool. These movies, Abaddon's Pit and Walkaway, are available on Tubi and Amazon and YouTube and all that. So if you want to go see me as a cult leader or as a crazy person in a horror movie, you can go look at them. You didn't have to be there just for movie night. It was just cool to be able to have a community event over movies with these films finally on the big screen, because I had never gotten to see them on the big screen. I was on tour for Abaddon's premiere.
It was neat seeing Alan Bolt on the big screen.
I freaking love Ben Bacco, man, and Alyssa Talbot, and Amy Zubieta, and Chris Faria. It's like, you know, he made these movies and we made friends for life. So, and I know the Royale is actually having a big movie festival this whole entire month. So if you're in Bisbee, go check that out. And then the 18th, we played at the Grand, and I love playing at the Grand. Something strange had happened to me at some point in those few days where I might have just gotten burnt out, or I think I might have eaten some of her own bad leftovers, maybe from the Trader Joe's haul, that the things are a little too old. I think I had like a little kind of food poisoning, and I think I had to sit down for a little bit. And so that was actually really intense for me, because the Grand is one of my most favorite places to play in the whole country. And I looked over at Caswyn and I was like, I got to get off the stage. I had to sit down. Something was really strange with me.
I played songs that don't even exist.
That was actually really cool. But the Grand, next time I'm going to give you an even more badass show, because it is really one of my most favorite places to play in the whole country. Steve is the whole reason we end up in Bisbee every dang time.
Very, I can only count like maybe 1 or 2 times, that being one of them, where Faith Kelly's looked at me and said, dude, I need you to carry this one.
Well, usually it's my period, not freaking food poisoning. So yeah, y'all, make, you know, when you're traveling, you gotta, you know, got hit with everything this tour, man. Holy crap. But then, yeah, man, it was still a really cool set. We got to play for that big ass weed company, and we got to play for a bunch of our friends. Well, Burnarella is its own event. They were a sponsor of Burnarella, which I think Burnarella is also happening during Side Pony this November, which we'll talk about that at the end of the video. We're getting there. We're almost into block 2. So yeah, man, the Grand, next time I will come in full energy, and I won't eat a weird salad before the show.
Yeah, just have a cheeseburger or like a slice of pizza.
I had been, but you know,
just have a slice of good pepperoni pizza and a Faygo.
A Faygo?
You're good to go.
You mean I would eat? I'm not gonna eat a. I mean, look, I'm a juggalette, but I don't really do that Faygo shit.
No, you know what?
I don't do that sugar drink shit.
You know what's really good? Have a sliced pizza.
Some yogurt.
A shot of tequila and a Miller Lite.
That sounds good, but I got auditions to do today, so I'm not gonna tequila out yet. So from there, man, the Grand, I basically slept it off, and we went the next day.
Wait, really quick, we will be bringing a fine bottle of tequila to the Too Short to Suck Film Festival premiere, so
I can't wait for that, y'all. It's gonna be so much fun.
If you come out, you have a shot of this fine tequila with us. Lori Ray Silver. She likes her tequila.
Oh yeah, she got me into it. Actually, it was between her and Pelkey got us in.
Pelkey pulled out that delicious tequila that day, and I was like, "This is Corvo.
This is freaking nice, actually." Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah."
All right, so from there, we're almost through block 1. The next day was bicycle day, and we woke up, and I'm like, and I was still feeling it. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through 2 shows today, but I'm gonna. And And Clown Daddy was arriving that day. You can't make this shit up, dude. It was so crazy. And honestly, the power of friendship and music can help you recover through anything.
All of a sudden, Nick Heathen's in your head. It was a very long day.
That was a great day, though.
Long
So that was the Bisbee Badassery Bicycle Fest. And what we started out with us. We opened it. And then the Lollybombs played a set, and then Big Dick played a set, and then Bucky Mills closed out and did a nice long set. And now all these folks are getting sets there and playing there while we're away, and when it was just like a big family affair.
Does that smell like anything cleaner in there?
I don't think so.
All right.
What was super fun about that festival was all the musicians hanging out on the roof of the Badassery all
maybe
day.
A little bit. That's all right though.
No. But you can always make more tea. It was just so freaking fun having all the musicians hanging out on the roof, and then freaking Clown Daddy rolls up near the end of it, and it's like, holy crap! Now Clown Daddy's here.
Dude, she got to roll into town to Bucky Mills on the roof of Bisbee.
Playing a My Chemical Romance song. She was
that
like,
was her introduction to Bisbee. Was like
Bucky Mills playing Helena.
Oh man,
like you can't make that up.
That's like a lucid dream in real life.
It is. Dude, that was one of my favorite shows of the whole tour, was that little daytime festival there. And, we love you. We love you, Bisbee Badassery. Really, we do. And then we took a few hours off, did a little walk around with Clown Daddy, showed her some Bisbee. And
we did a walkabout.
Yeah, and then we had a 3-hour show at the Social Club, which is another venue of mine that I freaking love. I made it through that gig, though. I was doing a little better than I was the night before, and we made it through that. And it was also just a kick-ass gig, man, because the Social Club gets wild at night. Those are usually like a 9 to midnight set. And, man, Steve, thank you so much for always bringing us back to Bisbee. And those venues are just like two of my favorites. They were there with us on the very first 6-week tour, and this tour had a lot of mirrors from that first 6-week tour, but it definitely is interesting to see how it's grown since then. So from there, now we're on the second slot here. This is actually might go a little quicker because we had a lot of TBA dates. April 20th, was a very crazy day. We woke up and went to church with 20-foot neon Jesus over at the Royale, and I'll never forget that morning.
Michael scaring the tourists.
Well, the Lollybombs, man, they know how to dress up for a party.
There was nothing cooler that day than looking over and seeing Michael in line at the patisserie. Waiting to get like a fresh croissant.
And Gratch and Clown Daddy trying to get everyone to come over to church.
People had no idea what was happening
shit,
over there.
Dude. It was, and just like everyone, like, I don't know, so...
20-foot neon Jesus out there with a bullhorn.
Go get your Sunday blessings, y'all. If you don't know who 20-foot neon Jesus
Big
is,
Kate standing there.
Go follow him right now. Watch his music videos. You're gonna have a great time. Yeah, man, I freaking love Kate. I'm hoping that she can come to the field trip, the Knoebel Musicians field trip day, because she might actually be out this way.
Can you imagine hanging out with Kate
and Frank Hurricane and Richard and Clown Daddy?
Richard, Clown Daddy, whoever else wants to come along. You got, musicians only though, man.
Well, we don't want to say we can only fit so many in the van,
but
though.
You got to get your own bus, man. That's the thing.
Everyone's a musician with a kazoo.
We'll fit whoever we can. Y'all have to have a kazoo then.
I have to make more kazoos, dude. I'm all out.
Just hand them out in the raw.
No, never. They say made in China on them. At Faith Kelly Art with a little paint scribble on it is so much cooler. But after I get through these, I will find a new supplier, and hopefully they'll be made probably not in China.
Yo, there's a kazoo company. Maybe you can get it straight. Maybe let's see if there's.
So from there, man, that April 20th, it was 4/20 Easter Sunday. You can't make that up. Then after church with 20-foot neon Jesus, we went over to the John Quill Motel. We played an awesome set. We got to see a lot of our friends. Got to see Alexandria jamming with her band. I freaking love her. And then the John Quill Motel is just one of the coolest places, and it's owned by one of the most badass bitches I've ever met. y'all definitely, if you get a chance to go to one of her events at that motel, I mean, do it. There's going to be another Burnerella, I believe, in November. I know she holds a lot of bike rallies there, so if you're a biker, check it out, man. She's always doing something fun. So then after that, y'all, this day didn't even stop. We played our set, and then I went over and we did the Jello wrestling with Cloud Daddy, and that was like one of the most fun days of my life. Was Jello wrestling with Clown Daddy. And the best part is like we had come up with this whole bit because we were like, all right, you know, I'm not just gonna get in the tub and roll around with you. Like, I'm an entertainer. Like, we're gonna treat this WWF style and like and make some like do some smack talk and like try to get some, you know, and like get a story in there. And we weren't actually going to get in the Jello. We were going to do all this trash talking with each other and all these like little wrestling moves outside of the tub and then like run away like New York chicken shits. And then guess what? She double dog dared me to get in the tub, and I looked at her real quiet and I was like, you really want to do this? And she's like, we gotta. And I was like, all right. And then we got in the tub, and y'all, it was one of the like, I might have been judged a little bit for doing the Jello wrestling by some folks, but you know what? It was so much freaking fun. I highly recommend if you get an opportunity to do something like that, just do it. Have a whole lot of fun. And maybe we'll bring it to the Catskills this summer. Ooh. Units, 100 for $99. I get a lot more than that.
Yeah, I know, but these are
I like the colors.
These are made right in South Carolina.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, you know. We'll be looking at that for Max Lee hooked it up with the kazoos for a bit, so we still got a few hundred I can roll through with the ones I've been using, and then the kazoos will slightly change. That's okay, we'll figure it out. So man, that was that was the best 420 I've ever had in my life. Starting it off with freaking 20-foot neon Jesus, playing a show. I got to wear my weed suit, and then I Jello wrestled with Clown Daddy at the hitching post. Man, that was so.
That was, you know,
that was the highlight, honestly. That was so much fun.
That was a fun day, man.
And then I think at the end of the day, we were so tuckered out. We just went to the Grand, had a drink, and had some food, and like, and then we passed out. Man, that was a wipe out kind of weekend.
Yeah, we tuckered.
The next day, the 21st, we had off, and we said see you later to Clown Daddy. Clown Daddy, we got your oil. It's in the house. We'll give it to you later. We did save some of the Juan's jerky for her. It did make it.
Yep. Yep, it made it.
I didn't let him eat it, and he really wanted to.
What's one bag?
No, one bag is both bags. I'm telling you. Once you eat.
It's okay though, 'cause she's gonna crack that bag.
And we're gonna have a bite of it.
We're gonna have some of it.
That's the interest we get for bringing it. Excuse me. You turn 30 and you get seasonal allergies. So that next day, that April 21st, I almost said 31st. April does not have a 31st. That was fun because we got to say see you later to all of our Bisbee friends. We finished shooting a scene for Me Without You, and then we also finished the scene for 11/11. So we just kind of finished up some video work and said goodbye to everyone. And then April 22nd, we woke up nice and early, said goodbye to a few more people. We had to stop by the Grand and give Mike a hug because there's no way we weren't. We got our last few cartwheels that we had forgotten. We got to Bisbee. We were so excited when we played the Thirsty Lizard, we forgot the cartwheel. So we actually got that cartwheel on the way out of town. And then we drove all the way out the wild 7-hour journey to Black Hawk Brewery, but we did stop at freaking White Sands Missile Range to get the shot for 11/11, which you will see that will be dropping this weekend at midnight on Saturday after the premiere at Too Short to Suck. So yeah, man, that was a crazy day. And then we got to play the Black Hawk Brewery, which is freaking awesome because we love going to Roswell. We always get to see Juan. He always hooks it up with the jerky. We also get to see our friend who we've met right here on YouTube, Random Oddities. And I always get it mixed up with Curiosities and Oddities. So if I ever switch it, it's only because our friend owns a shop that's like Random Curiosities out here in the Catskills. but I know your oddities. So y'all should go follow him. He makes really wonderful art. He does a lot of live streams, a lot of shorts, and us YouTubers, man, we all got to stick together. I want to see us all rise. But what's cool is actually get to hang out with your friends in person. And when we go back to Roswell, it's like another home away from home. Freaking cool going to the coop, the co-op, getting a burger. And man, we got to see some kittens. We finished up our video. It's just, you know, a lot of love on this tour, man.
I love Roswell.
I freaking love Roswell. Thank you guys, Joan.
Next time we're van camping in Juan's backyard.
Yeah, I want to see where that jerky's really made.
I want to van camp. I want to hang out and to the wee hours till everybody's too tired to talk anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And not like just the quick hangout at the venue, you know.
Yeah.
Which is fun, but you know.
There's something we said about the conversations that happen in the wee hours when people are too tired to talk anymore.
Oh yeah. So yeah, y'all, we love Black Hawk Brewery. I'm sure we'll be back there hopefully this year, but we'll tell you about that at the end of this. The 23rd, we took our damn time, and I think we ended up camping in, what is it? What's that little town? Something Thorn in Texas? What was it called?
How about Uvalde?
No, it was on the way to Uvalde. It was on the way to Alpine.
Oh, Diablo East?
No, we like camped just out of Love's, and I went for a jog. It doesn't matter. We van camped, and we recovered a little bit because it was a long drive. And even though it wasn't a long drive to Alpine from Roswell, we just needed a little bit of time. We're learning a little bit of rest goes a long way when you do this kind of thing. Excuse me. And then on the 24th was the Ritchie in Alpine, Texas. And this little town was so freaking cool. We had stopped in Marfa for a minute to do a little walk around for our friend Gabe. But Marfa is cool. Alpine is really cool. I don't like to place one over the other, but Alpine was just a little more our speed.
I'll place one over the other. I liked Alpine better.
Yeah.
Mateo was awesome. The town was great.
There's a lot of galleries, a lot of shops, affordable shops.
People that came out to the show were cool.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh man.
Well, and at the Ritchie, he has music there every night.
I'd be interested to learn more about Planet Marfa.
Yeah.
But other than that, the town didn't really have much to offer.
Marfa was more for people who've got this kind of stuff.
You got a little bit of scratch.
Yeah. So we, you know, the $9 chai, you know, it's actually I think it was a little less than that. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but you know,
it could have been a little bigger cup.
A little bigger cup would have been nice, you know. It's when I start feeling like Larry David, and I'm like, that's it.
I can say, you know, the Ritchie, man.
Yeah.
Good food.
Oh my God, right?
Plentiful beer.
Awesome people.
Let us sleep in the driveway.
That's where we met Nick.
Yeah.
Our traveling friend, man, and now he's at his destination.
Chef Nick.
We ended up staying up and talking to him till damn near 3 a.m.
Somewhere on a beach in North Carolina, cooking something delicious.
Well, the thing with Alpine is it's right on the Amtrak line. So if you get a chance and you're taking Amtrak somewhere, stop in and check out this little town. Take a walk around.
And then your train will get delayed and you can stay for an extra 5 hours.
Go to the Ritchie and go see. He has music there every night, and that's a bar that loves live music. And Mateo, you are awesome, man. I can't wait to get back out there.
We're born in the same hospital.
We even got to. They were born in the same. Well, because Caswyn's actually a Texan, in case you didn't know.
Check this out. I've been eyeballing it.
That's cool.
Isn't that sweet?
That is cool. You know, I like my blankets. The next day, we took a shorter drive to the Ruby's Lounge in Uvalde, Texas. And, man, another cool freaking place. This place was a little more, like, cowboy, like a little more Western. Like, I didn't know. I couldn't.
About Ruby's?
Yeah, I couldn't read how we were going to go over here.
What's up, Fatty?
Fatty was so cool, man. We made friends at this place, y'all. This place is one of our favorites.
We made lifelong friends.
Yeah. Uvalde is a town with a whole lot of soul, and Just can't recommend another one. Checking it out as much as you can. We were trying, people ask us why that was the day we actually stopped in to see Bryson on the way to Uvalde.
Yeah.
Because of, or maybe, no, it was the next day because Corpus Christi. We make these videos also for ourselves while the memories are fresh so that we can kind of remember how this all went when we're old and decrepit and no longer doing this. Who knows though? We might be old and decrepit and still doing this.
You never know.
So, yeah, we'll see how long those high kicks last.
Life keeps lifing.
It's true. So, Ruby's Lounge is so much freaking fun. That was a nice long set. Really cool bar. Can't recommend checking it out enough. Then the next day, that's the day we stopped in to see Bryson in San Antonio. And then we went to play the Annex in Corpus Christi, which was a wild day because there was a freaking parade a few blocks down the street. And that was a 4-hour show. And we finished it up by eating a Whataburger at the original Whataburger joint. And we didn't even get that on camera. That one was for us. But oh my God, guys, I can truly say Whataburger was awesome. I did not, honestly, it was one of the best burgers I had on the whole freaking tour.
Dude, that freaking Whataburger was the best thing.
I couldn't believe it, man. Like, it was in my top 5 meals of like the whole tour.
Whataburger, if you're watching this, oh my God.
I can't believe it. I heard rumors when I was vegetarian.
Corpus Christi location is just, that was the best hamburger I've ever had in my life.
It was, it was a mushroom Swiss burger.
I'm not even just saying that, but that was the best burger.
It was so good
that I've ever had in my life. Was that Whataburger?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. I'm glad I eat meat now. So we actually had 2 days off from there, the 27th and 28th, which we basically just spent out in Corpus Christi, out at South Padre Island, and hanging out at the Pelican Lounge, which is where we played on our last 6-week tour. We got to hang out with our friends over there at the Pelican Lounge. Wait, hold on, we'll get the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I know, but I do love Dylan Carmichael, and I highly suggest you go listen to him too.
I love it when he rocks the acoustic, man.
Yeah.
And you go, huh.
Dude, I love South Padre Island. It was an awesome place to get that tan going before we got to Florida. We also finished. Irfan. Got to see Irfan from Pelican Lounge. I think we'll
hear about the drama of Courtney and Jerry.
Oh my God, those cats. Yeah, there's these 2 cats at this bar called the Pelican Lounge in Corpus Christi. Well, South Padre Island, Corpus Christi. And Courtney is this cat who hangs out on the porch.
She runs the joint.
She runs the whole thing. And then Jerry is this other cat. They used to be together, and this is based, I guess, off their clientele. They used to be together, but then they broke up, and now they fight a whole lot. So Jerry the cat and Courtney get into scuffles.
He tries to come around, but she doesn't.
And he stays under the porch. It's
she
so
stares
funny.
at the wall.
Did some karaoke, man. It was so cool. We freaking loved the Pelican Lounge. We didn't play at this tour, but I think we got some plans for the next tour. So then, I think the 28th, we left with enough time to start heading out to Houma, Louisiana to play at the Intracoastal Club. Which Tony, Whitney, we love y'all. It's so freaking cool to see y'all. This venue has been a legendary venue with us for a long time. And it was cool to finally make a return. We hadn't been there since, I think, November 23. So it was cool to get back there. I love going back because
it's always something new.
Yeah.
Every time you walk in, there's something new hanging up, or like a new piece of art.
Yeah.
Or
this is the part of the tour where
Al, holy shit, what a sound guy.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that little magic thing was he hooked up behind my amplifier, but...
Well, and he also has a YouTube, so maybe I'll try to tag him when I do post this. I think it's Al Winter, and he posts all the shows and events that they have over there. So you can go to Intracoastal Club without actually going there. And they do a lot of really fun events there. If you're going to New Orleans, take a day and go to Houma and check out the Intracoastal Club. You're going to have a really fun time. Probably even a better time than you would in New Orleans. I mean, you're going to save a lot of money.
The beer is cold.
The beer is cold. The people are sweet. The stage is awesome. Yeah, I just love the Intracoastal Club with all my heart. So then we had off 2 days, April 30th and May 1st. And this is the part of the tour where we started to get a little tired. Because we left the Intracoastal Club We got through New Orleans. We slept in this parking lot that seemed peaceful until we woke up to the sound of like loud garbage can mechanics just dumping. I like jumped awake. I was like, what the heck is that? I was afraid. I was like, I thought the sky was falling, literally. And we had about 2 hours of sleep, and then we had this like long drive out towards Tampa. And we made it to St. Pete. Yeah, we made it to Tampa that night.
Mm-hmm.
I think I put my henna on my hair and I washed it out in the ocean. There was like those weird little blue button weird squid fishes, and I was like, what the heck is this?
It only lasted for a little while and they floated away.
Yeah, they floated away. It was still cool to see them. But we did get to swim up in Pensacola a little bit. Took an hour of the time, but man, were we wiped out. And then on the first, we went out to Wendy's, you know, got to see her, got a smoothie, got some really, really cool outfit. I don't know when I'm going to wear it. I might wear it as too short to suck at the red carpet, but I had something else planned, so we're going to see. I'm going to depend on the weather there. Wendy's Closet, y'all, go watch that video. Go visit her if you're in St. Pete. If not, make a plan to go out to St. Pete and visit her, because it's one of the best thrift stores ever.
She loves Wendy's.
I love Wendy's. And then we got to go hang out with freaking Eric Best on the beach.
We went to Coconut Charlie's and we spent some time.
Yeah, man. We love Eric Best. You guys got to go listen to his new album. It's freaking awesome. From there,
we had pina coladas, but they gave me a hangover because I don't really usually drink sweet things.
Oh, yeah.
I like to do shots or beers.
Yeah, well, you know, when in Florida, you got to have at least one pina. And then we van camped. We van camped at the TA outside of this. There's a lot. We didn't sleep in a bed from April 22nd till May 11th when we got home. And I think that was our longest streak yet without sleeping in a bed. Because that's at least 22 days we slept in the back of this van. And this is when we started feeling it because the humidity was back. And
yeah, things got a little...
sometimes those nights where it's still, but it's humid. If you got a breeze, it's fine. But
things
man,
got a little soggy at times.
So we woke up, we got a shower, we went to New World. I think we went to the beach for a little bit on the second too. Oh, excuse me. And we went and we played New World Beer Garden, and it was also this awesome event. I think it's like, what is it? Their Friday. I forget what it's called, but they do like a market.
Oh yeah, the market.
Oh, Maker's Market. And they do that, I think, the first Friday of every month. So definitely go check it out. Awesome stage, awesome sound guy. Always good to see Dane. What's up, dude? And got to see Chris. It's just, New World has been with us for a while too. And every time we go there, it's kind of a stamp in time. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of look back on the other times that you've been there and you're like, wow, I can't believe it's our third time here or second time here, or it's our fourth time going to Florida. We've been touring for 4 freaking years now, dude. And speaking of stamps, the next day we hightailed it across Florida to Vero Beach, and we played the Stamp and the Stamp Bar, which is a freaking awesome bar. This show is one of the highlights of the tour.
Holy smoke. I was like, that's my voice?
Yeah. The sound, yeah. That sound guy was awesome, man.
Another sound guy that just like...
We had only good sound guys this tour.
Holy
I can't think of a bad
man.
sound guy on this tour.
The Stamp. The way he made the vocals sound.
We got to see Sarah. We got to see Johan. We got to meet Sebastian, Johan's kid. We stayed up till 4 a.m. at Wawa just talking to them.
Miss
and like
Q came out to the show.
Yeah, man.
TJ was there.
Dude, it's like it was our East Florida reunion, and we freaking love it. And I know that Sarah and the Silent Poets are playing a lot of shows out there, so if you are in East Florida, go check her out. She's a lot of fun. She's a badass bitch. Let me hit that water. We're almost done with this tour here. May 4th, we head off, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, we hightailed it down to Key Largo.
Yep.
And oh my God, we went to the Caribbean Club the night before our show.
At the Caribbean Club.
Yeah, we got drunk with Patrick the first night, and also I got to dance with Fabi and Bob.
Yep.
And it was so much fun. That was one of the coolest covers of Pumped Up Kicks I ever saw.
I've never heard anybody cover Pumped Up Kicks.
They had this awesome cover band there, and it was so much fun to hang with y'all. The next day, Fabi gave us some awesome advice. We took a ride out to a park out in Florida. Oh man, what was the name of that park? Can you look it up? It was like, it's a weird name, but it's like one of those classic Key West kind of parks. It was about an hour and a half from Key Largo. We didn't make it to Key West, not this time. Next time maybe. I'd like to book a gig there before we try to get out there. I would just like go look at the map, pull up Key West and zoom out. But then we went back and we played the Caribbean Club, and it was such an awesome time, man. The food is great. They have the Take Two food truck out front, and man, I just one of those shows that you just can't make it up. Like between the lizards and the sunset and the lightning storm in the distance and the freaking fish and the people rolling up on their boats, it was like, oh my God, it was a little attention deficit overload, you know, because I'm just like, what the heck? And I'm also trying to play my songs. But it was also just such a beautiful, beautiful time. This venue is awesome. And it's, I believe, the last dive bar in Key Largo. What is it called? Yeah, a little further.
Wow, we were that far down?
Yeah. Yeah, a little further. Yeah, we went further than Marathon. Oh, wait, there it is.
Fred the Tree. Remember Fred?
Yeah. Bahia Honda State Park. Bahia Honda. And here's a cool thing about Florida, y'all. You can go there, pay for the day pass, right? Which I think it's $4 a person.
There's Fred the Tree.
And then you can buy just a shower pass instead of a camping pass. So that's been very helpful while we're in Florida. And I think it's like $7. So it's cheaper than getting a truck stop shower. It is a campground shower.
And plus, you're paying some money to help out the
state parks
and state parks.
Yeah.
It's like, I always like to spend money at state and national parks because they're one of the, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think they might be a little underfunded at times.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was a very beautiful time. A few sweaty nights of sleeping. I won't lie. When we woke up that day, we were just like, the next day we had off, and I think we drove all the way up because we wanted to go to Playa Linda Beach. And we went to Playa Linda Beach. There's an off-camera kind of story that happened there. But we also did shoot some music video for Me Without You. And if you don't know, we love Playa Linda. It is a nude beach, Boardwalk 13. And it's so much freaking fun, man. It's like, there's nothing like being a little fishy playing in the waves without clothes on. You know what I mean? You don't got to worry about anything falling off. You're just you in your natural birth suit. And so we left Key Largo. We went straight there. And we got the shot that we needed for the video. And then we went and we spent a night, I think, at a Love's. And we got a truck stop shower. And then we went back to Playa Linda the next day because we didn't get enough. And, you know, just enjoyed a few hours on the beach. We left before we got sunburnt this time, unlike last year.
But, once again, the Atlantic Ocean whooped your ass.
Yeah, I think the Atlantic Ocean kind of gave me a little sinus infection, man. I feel like I still have salt water in my ears. But I can't stop playing in those waves, man. It's just so much freaking fun. And it was perfect amount of like pull and undertow that you could like get the high jumps. You could go ride a wave out. It was a lot of fun. And then May 7th, we played Shanghai Nobby's. And it was really cool to see our friend Leslie from the Catskills came out to come see us. And it was a fun, rainy, kind of a chill night.
Good to meet her friend Matt.
Yeah. And I gotta love those bartenders, man. They're badass. And then from there, we whipped up to Surf City, which is a 7 freaking hour drive. And we did hit some Buc-ee's, which is nice. We did go to Black Rifle Coffee.
Yeah, we did.
And that helped a lot because we needed some caffeine. This is the part of the tour that was like that last mile of a marathon.
I wish they would open one around here.
They're putting one in Virginia. That's getting close, man. That's getting close, but not close enough. I just want to be able
to have a 1776 once in a
while. Oh, a Black Rifle. I thought you meant Buc-ee's.
No, a Black Rifle.
Oh, well, come on, Black Rifle. Both of you guys. One right beside each other on Highway 17. Right out by Liberty would be perfect.
For $5,
you get this giant tank of coffee.
Good, like Oh man. Anyway.
So we went and we played the Sea Witch Lounge in Surf City, which we didn't go to the beach because we were a little beached out. But the bar was pretty cool, had some really awesome art. And yeah, then we went out to Greenville, which is only a 2-hour drive. And Greenville was freaking fun, man. Got to hang out with Jeff.
Yeah.
Got us effing wasted.
John gave us cake.
John gave us cake.
We gave some to Chad. Now Chad's got his plate.
Well, and going to see the new Alleycat records was awesome because they just recently changed locations and it's a really awesome spot. If you get out to Greenville, go check out the music scene. Spaz Presents. It's really just, there's nothing else like the Greenville music scene. From there, man, we went to the Art Barn out in Durham, which is a house party kind of deal. And Chad, this was quite the party. I can't believe it. It was such a fun way to wrap up this tour. And
just remember, John, that's where your plate is.
John, your plate's is with Chad. And that was the night that we finally gave Tracy and Carl the planet. And it's funny because they had ordered one of those planets for me, which I am taking commissions for them now if you want one. This planet traveled with us this whole entire tour, and it was so relieving to actually hand it to them at the end of it and be like, it made it. I did actually forget about it for a minute when we were out in Bisbee at the Inn at Castle Rock, when I had that kind of food tummy thing going on. We switched rooms a few times, and right as we were leaving Bisbee, I was like, have you seen the planet? It was in a room for like a week, and there was people staying in the room, and
it blended in so well.
So I think next time I got to make a planet for the Inn at Castle Rock. It's because I think they need one. So with that, we left Durham at night. Caswyn Moon drove me damn near freaking 6 hours that night to 5 a.m.
I wasn't staying at that truck stop.
We found a shady truck stop and we weren't staying there. Nope. We just kept driving. It was late and we were tired, but we were like, nope. And then I had to meet up with my family the next day, so he got me there for noon o'clock meetup, and that was a 7-hour drive that you just freaking kicked in the ass. And then we took the 3-hour drive. We went to Wegmans, got some groceries, and then we made it home safe and sound, and we were reunited with our cat. And that marks the end of the 2025 Still Alive tour. So that is a wrap up of all the shows and of only a few of the memories, because like I could literally go on and on, but we're already looking at an hour on this video, and we have some questions from y'all. So I had posted on my Instagram if you had any tour questions. Will you pull those up?
Tour questions?
Yeah, and then we're gonna do an unboxing, and then I'm gonna do my audition, and we'll probably see you at the open mic at the Dale on Thursday.
Okay, well, Nick D asked, did you go anywhere on tour that you're like, nah, I'm never going back there again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The short answer to that is yeah.
Definitely.
But we have a rule of no shit talking on this channel, but we can tell you why without saying where. On tour. Oh, I mean, and on tour, not just this tour. So when you play a show and you're told to turn down so many times that you can't even sing, when Caswyn can't even sing at his voice, and I haven't even, then you go, this is not the right fit.
Okay, so nice people, but maybe just didn't listen to the EPK first.
So maybe not return, but not bad, but not.
But next time we'll do a full acoustic set. You know,
now
we know, because I would go back there again. But
nah.
the next time, just play full acoustic. But then this is the thing. Now you fill a room full 300-500 people, right?
Yeah.
It's not a lot of people, but it's a good amount for people.
300 to 500 people, and there was that amount of people.
Vagabonds like us, and
with a friend.
And we're not even going to say the monetary amount, because in the end, we got to see our friend and hang out and have a night of good music. But when you watch a bar make like thousands and thousands of dollars,
probably 20 at least,
and then everybody leaves after the live music's over, And then they hand you
a check where everyone barely makes $50,
Yeah,
and then
it's
they
like-
charge you for drinks.
Yeah, you know, I mean, come on, man.
Shame on you.
Do better.
Yeah, nah.
Do better.
That's a nah.
Yeah.
And I guess as far as previous tours go, basically it's just like if you go to a place and you're not met with kindness, I usually, as I try to book gigs, I go off the enthusiasm factor.
Well, here's the
and
thing,
I don't need to make a ton of money, but it's, if there's enthusiasm behind the show, I'm with it, you know?
We're curious about things, so it's like we'll play anywhere at least once.
Yeah.
You know?
To anyone, anywhere, at least once.
At least one time, you know, and maybe that one time will become, you know,
many times.
Many times. And maybe that one time will just be solely the one time.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, maybe just not.
Yeah. Or yeah, it's, you know, it's to each his own, but if you're playing a venue that you're just like, this ain't the right fit, like there was a show that we had let go of on this tour because they had requested that I change the photo on our poster of a photo of me wearing this photo of with shorts on where you could see my legs to a photo of me wearing pants. That was not a good fit. That was not cool. Yeah, that was not cool. Nah. So yeah, but you know, really minimal is there ones that we won't return to, because most of the time we trust the universe that we're with the right people, and a lot of the time those shows that are even not coming back to kind of lead us to another show that we will come back to. They're like cookie crumbs to the next.
Yeah, it's like there'll be some strange Illuminati in the audience that goes, you know, there's a place 3 blocks away that would love you guys. And it's like, huh.
Yeah. But really, there's really not many that are a major nah.
No.
But yeah, that's basically
there's been a couple stinkers, but nothing.
No major stinkers on this one.
Nothing to lose your mind about.
You know, because even the one stinker was a badass show. It was just kind of like you left feeling underappreciated, and it happens sometimes. I don't like when I play a gig. I'll play a gig. You know, there are gigs that help you pay a bill, and then there are gigs that you play for the love of it. But at the end of the day, it's like you just kind of want to feel like you're what do you say when not, it's not underappreciated, it's when just a musician's being kind of taken advantage of. You have like kind of a saying on that.
What do you mean?
You know, like when you play a gig and it's like you're there to make the place like maybe look better, but they don't really actually appreciate you.
Oh yeah, I forget. It's yeah, I mean, you got your wallpaper gigs, but
well, wallpaper gig is fine. You know, like that's when you play for a few hours and you get home, you pay a cell phone bill, you know?
Yeah, you could literally stay in the corner and play a D chord all night long. Nobody even notices.
Yeah.
But I forget. I did have a good term for that. But it's just it's a exchange. It's an energy exchange. You know what I mean? And if it's not there, it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like friendship or anything else. Like, you know, you don't have to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't be friends with somebody, well, then just don't be friends with them. It's like, you know, you don't have to play every venue.
Yeah.
Some venues just want something different than what you're bringing, and that's okay.
And we're bringing something very different,
You know?
so
that's totally all right, man. It doesn't.
I am grateful, even to the places that we say nah to the second time. I am grateful that they take a chance on us and they do book us, because at least we get the experience and we usually meet a few cool people.
And then there's those venues where, like, okay, you want to call yourselves a music venue, but you're really not, you know, and you're not making any sort of space for a musician to feel, I mean, real even comfortable to play. Just get a Spotify playlist like everybody else,
yeah,
or a jukebox, and you know, just don't book musicians unless, you know, you really want to have live music.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just a thing you want to make your business look like, you know, cool or whatever, because, you know, you got live bands, but those musicians put a lot of time and effort coming out to those venues and setting up and playing and putting their energy out there for a few hours. And it's like, if you can't even accommodate them with like a space where they can feel like they want to sing, then just don't. Just get a jukebox or get they have them.
Yeah.
And put a big screen TV up and call it good. Yeah. And that's all right. I like drinking at bars like that.
Well, because then you don't have to go over that whole like wishy-washy. Oh, well, we didn't do enough in bar sales tonight, man. So we can't pay you what we originally agreed to. Or
it either is or it isn't. So if it isn't, then there's a lot of bars like that I enjoy drinking at.
Yeah, that I like to go to.
Yeah, but I don't enjoy playing at.
Yeah, but even then, that hasn't happened with any of these on this tour. But that is something that has happened in the past, that you just go where the vibe is at for you.
Yeah, trust me.
That's why we have a lot of return gigs on these tours, because it's like you see the tours and it's like, oh, it's their freaking fourth time at the Grand. They freaking love it there.
If your business is having trouble selling hamburgers, a band is not going to save you.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's when you say that you think the music is going to save the venue, but then the music gets there and they kind of underappreciate the music. It's a whole thing. It's a good fight, man.
Work out the logistics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or a lot of venues will get grants and they have a budget aside specifically for live music. So they have a budgeted, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what I found? Breweries are awesome because beer drinkers love music.
Yeah.
And
they don't care what kind of music.
You're going to play at a brewery and there's going to be a group of people there who are going to love what you're playing, because I just think it's something by nature that breweries attract beer drinkers that like music.
Original music.
Yeah, original music. And so it's kind of for me, I always enjoy playing the breweries.
Yeah.
Because, you're always going to have a crowd that's like into it. And I don't know, it's just a weird phenomenal thing that I've noticed.
Yeah. Next question. What do you got on there?
Oh shit. I got distracted.
No, we got some. We didn't get we didn't get a ton of questions, but we got some really interesting ones.
Okay, so that was a long answer for Nick D. And Jazzy asked.
Jazzy gave us 2 really cool questions. So here's the first one.
How long have you been touring, and what did you do before? Well,
we've been touring together. We're completing our 4th year touring together. Before that, I did tour previously with my old band, and that's kind of how I learned how to book these things. And now I get to actually practice in really setting them into motion and doing it the way I wish I could have done it back then. So touring, I mean, then you toured
a little bit
at times in your life. Touring together under this project, about 4 years. Our first tour was in February 2022.
Yeah, I wasn't like planning on doing this, but it kind of just
road life.
It kind of happened. I was hosting some open mics and doing a lot of things that maybe I shouldn't have been doing. And Faith Kelly was hanging out, doing whatever she was doing.
Before a couple of Wanderers, I was in a very sad place, and I was kind of transitioning from being in the old band, and I was messing around with some solo stuff. And I'm also an actress, so I was acting in a bunch of movies and stuff too, but that slowed down with COVID. And other than that, man, I mean, I've been painting. I've just doing odd jobs to keep the bills afloat, but I did do quite a lot of acting. I had a lot of small breaks.
She said what was the pivotal moment that made you decide to do this pretty full time? Well, we both decided we kind of like being around, and the best way to be able to do that was to play as much music nonstop as we can, and go places where we never thought we'd go, and meet friends, and and just it kind of was the reason that I don't know, I stopped doing a lot of things maybe I shouldn't have been doing. Yeah. And I traded it in.
I started eating.
Yeah, I traded. You eat cheeseburgers now and
take rest days.
Yeah, it's like
it's
kind of neat,
There was a pivotal moment. There's been a few pivotal moments. for me, as far as like deciding that art would be my full-time job. I haven't had a job since 2017, which is pretty cool. But between the music and movies and the painting and stuff, but with the solo work, it was probably 2021, right around and right when I met you, where I was like, you know, whether it was in a band setting or I started doing this solo thing, because I was like, you know,
well, you got a guitar. If you want to go out and play, go out and play.
Yeah. Well, and there was also, for me, I just said, you know what? I'm going to make this my full-time job. So that means when I'm not playing a show, I'm sending emails. I'm making a poster. I'm getting back to this person. I'm writing a song. I'm rehearsing. I'm coming up with a show. This takes months and months of outreach. This takes years of relationship building. We've had people ask us in the past, oh, do you just show up at the venues and just show up? And it's like, no, yeah, we do show up eventually, but this doesn't just happen overnight. This takes a lot of work to get done, but I decided it would be my full-time job. And like any full-time job, you're working 40 to 60 hours a week. So, let me open my window. That's right.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't think of that.
But yeah, my pivotal moment was in 2021 when I kind of just decided I wanted to stay alive and I would make this my full-time job. And
we're going to eat healthy lunches and tour around America.
I don't want to be a starving artist. I want to be a halfway decently fed artist.
I want to be a healthy artist.
I want to be a healthy artist. And we hope that this inspires y'all to do the same. And, you know, every once in a while, you're going to have that banger night
starve myself and do lots of drugs emo thing is just way overrated, man. And it's just a lot more fun to be able to have more of a, like Iggy Pop says, man, have a little lust for life, you know?
Well, that's the thing is, now we've been doing this so long, it's like we made friends in all these towns and we just have to come back and see y'all as many times as we can before, you know, we all expire. So there's two more questions here. I will say real quickly, I do want to throw this out here on that pivotal moment. Long time ago, a big pivotal moment for me is I was working at a Sheetz and I had a really bad night with a really nasty guest who, it was not that, we don't got to talk about what went down, but it was intense and the cops were called and all that kind of thing. And my boss, Chris, who is my friend who I met, who I talk about when we go to Tampa, she came in at the time. She was my boss. We're both ex-Sheetz employees at this point. But she said, Faith, I'm not firing you by any means, but you're really, I was 18. She's like, you should really go out there and follow your dreams. And because I was ready to work for Sheetz for the rest of my life because I love the company. But she told me to go follow my dreams, and I ended up, long story short, auditioning for a film that was the production company was based out of New York City, made friends with a bunch of them, moved to New York City, started acting in movies, started making music. Super long story short, I ended up out here and got depressed and crazy shit happened, and it was probably about around the time you invited me out to open mic that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check out this music scene in the Catskills and go to this open mic, and made a ton of friends and started gigging again and making albums and music videos, and because that wasn't happening as much with my old project. And yeah, but that was a pivotal moment was for me when I was 18. I just want to shout out to Chris there. Thank you for telling me to follow my dreams, because I'm still doing it. And I hope others do too. So the next question we got, and Abby gave us 2 questions, and then we're going to do this unboxing, and then I really got to get these auditions in because I'm still following those damn dreams. How do you choose what cities to perform in?
We don't. Just kind of weirdly, I mean,
we do and we don't. We don't. There's not many cities. There's a lot more towns than cities.
Cat worshiping Illuminati's picking for us.
When basically we come up with a route idea and we think, how much time do we want to go for? At this point that we've been doing it for so long, there are key cities. So it's like, we know on this next tour, or by the end of this year, we'd like to get to Worthington. We'd like to get to Minot. We'd love to get back to Bisbee. We'd love to get back to Tampa.
We got to get back to Minot.
We got to get back to Minot because we haven't seen them this year.
One way or the other, we got to get there.
And New London's on that list. So we kind of when we make the route, we pick the weeks that look like it's going to work for us, and we book Keystone gigs so it's like I'll hit up Steve, and whatever date Steve says he can hook us up with, that suddenly frames out our time in Bisbee. That frames when we'll be going out there and when we'll be coming back. And so I'll hit up the places that we know we want to go to.
You gotta find the Keystone.
Yeah, you find the Keystone gigs. And then that's where we're like, okay, well, we know we're going to go to Roswell, and we know we're going to go to Homa, and we know we're going to, so then we get those gigs because we know that they kind of bridge out. And then from there, we just kind of look at the map and send hundreds of emails to every venue we can find that looks like, if it says jazz club, I'm not going to email them. I don't think they're going to like us. If it's a country bar and it looks like they get original music, sometimes they do different things, we'll do it.
Weird country,
we'll reach out. I don't put too much thought into the reaching out process other than doing the outreach, because I know the right venues will get back to us.
Love our folk venues.
Yeah, folk venues, experimental. I love a rock club that invites us out, like the Stamp. But a lot of times we do so much outreach that it's like we do the outreach and then the right venues get back to us.
I was talking to Eric about it in St. Augustine the other night, that how punk and folk, as much as a lot of people don't want to admit it, have a lot in common.
Yeah.
And so I found that...
Well, folk music is by nature music for the people, and punk music is music...
Used to be not a genre based, but more of a lifestyle of music that questions authority. Some questions, man. Just seeing what's really going on.
Music that questions authority and is for the people. So pumpkin.
You didn't have to have a mohawk. You just had to be curious.
So we kind of just and then if there's a town that we really want to check out, we will outreach a whole lot until we get there. That's kind of Black Hawk Brewery in Roswell. I had to play there. So, I called them, I emailed them, I reached out on Facebook until Joan got back to me, and she's like, this sounds cool. And now it's like one of our favorite stops because I had that feeling. So they kind of choose themselves. We typically don't go to cities unless something brings us there. I just hate parking in cities. And I find that at the level we're at right now, we're going to make a lot more friends in Uvalde than we would in Austin, because there's a lot going on in the bigger cities. And the smaller towns, people will really come out and show up, and they appreciate that you're coming out to say hi to them. It's like every time we go to Black Hawk Brewery, they're like, I can't believe you guys always come out here to see us. I'm like, we freaking love
Roswell,
you.
Man.
Why wouldn't we? It's like, yeah, we could go to Albuquerque, but I'd rather go to Roswell.
Man.
And then our final question for now, if you ever have a question for us, we will answer it in a video. Don't be shy. Is it scary sleeping in the van at night? No. I would much rather sleep in this van than most hotel rooms, except for the Inn at Castle Rock and the Grand.
I've had more freaky shit occur staying at a hotel than I ever did.
It's so true.
Sleeping in nature in the van, and shit is gonna happen anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Shit could happen at your home.
Doesn't matter if you're in the safety of your own living room or in the middle of a national park. Shit is like magic. It's there and it's gone, and it's not a third dimensional thing. It's a moment in time. And when you're sleeping in your van, if you hear something that makes you feel a little squirrely, guess what you can do? You can start your car and leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you're in a hotel room and you paid for it,
or you can pull out your bear spray.
Yeah.
But truck stops, safe. People are cool. They're not as weird as the movies have made it out.
There's been a few truck stops that we've rolled up to.
If it's questionable, go.
Just go. Yeah, you don't got to stay there. It's like there's been a few, even Walmarts we've rolled into, and we're like, this is a little sus here. So we roll on in the next town.
Don't be like a paranoid freak, but trust your gut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say there was this. I guess I'll share this story on YouTube just because it's pretty fun and it's in the past now. We were staying at a state park in Missouri, and we've been all over this dang country that Missouri does not seem that far. But we were playing this open mic, and this old man, and Missouri is recently legal with marijuana. And so I find when a state goes legal, they go freaking crazy for a few months. And this old man was a really great musician, but he showed up, and, you know, he finds out we're traveling and everything. And he's like, you guys want a gummy for the road? And gave us each a gummy that he got at the new pot store down the road. And so we're like, hell yeah, we come back out here and we go to our state park at the end of the night. And I ate the gummy. And before I know it, I'm in the back of the van going, oh my God, where am I?
Now, you gotta remember when this old man rolled up to us, he wasn't that old of a man.
We're
giving
him a character.
Yeah, he had some travel under his belt, you know. He comes up to us, he goes, you want a gummy? I just got them from the dispensary down the street. I'm 4 deep. And I went,
oh, so they can't be that bad if he's 4 deep. I'm in the back of the van. I hear a noise outside. Wow, perfect. Nice timing, Woodpecker. I hope y'all heard that. I hear a freaking a noise outside the van. I think it's Chupacabra. I think my brain has concocted a freaking Wolverine is going to come get us. I'm like, oh my God. I'm in the middle of Missouri.
Like a raccoon or
We're
something.
on our way to freaking Idaho, and I'm freaking out over Missouri. Camping in the back of the van. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm okay, man. That gummy's just kind of freaking me out.
He's here like taking in the nature, man. There's a bunch of what she thought was a chupacabra was a little family of raccoons over there screwing around by a garbage can.
And he's like, well, I only took a bite of mine. And I'm like, I ate the whole thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in this all alone.
You're on your own, Space Cadet.
Now, okay, was sleeping in the van scary that night?
Can you hear
Not
me, Major
really.
Tom?
But for some reason, when I'm in Missouri, and we're like camping, I'm like, what was that? And Missouri is not a scary state. We've been to like other states that are a little more spookier. I don't know why. It just happened to me like that. So no, sleeping in the van is not scary. I freaking love it. I mean, as you can see, we're still hanging out in the van, and our like home is right there.
We're probably gonna be sleeping in it a lot this summer.
We want to do some more camping. But yeah, y'all, we freaking love staying in the van. You know, Kenny said it right. When you gotta get when the getting's good. You know,
yeah,
you gotta
man.
know when to hold them, know when to walk away.
Well, Kenny Rogers told you everything you needed to know.
If you're in a sus place, go. But the road is actually.
Yeah, I was amazed when I found out Kenny Rogers was originally in Fifth Dimension.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You know, what condition my condition was in. That's Kenny Rogers singing that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either until a few years ago, and I went, what?
So with that, y'all, real quick rundown. If you're watching this, please hit subscribe. Let us know other things you might want to know about tour. We have a whole playlist. If you want to watch this adventure from beginning to end, you can watch it from beginning to end. And we would appreciate if you did that because it helps get those dang watch hours up. Another thing, we do have the Support the Journey page. We are saving up for another big tour, which we're thinking might happen somewhere between October and November. We are scheming it. But first we got to get our summertime Catskill plans all laid out.
We shall see.
We also do have a few shirts of merch left over. We have everything available on the pop-up shop. Those little things help out a lot. But most importantly, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching our Back on This Road. Thank you to all the venues who invited us out to come play. It means more than you know. You're taking a chance on a couple of weirdos. And with that,
you know what, though? It's been a really good time.
It was the best tour ever so far. That was our 9th tour together. And I think the 10th tour will even be better. I don't know what we'll name it yet. What should we name the 10th tour? I don't know. Where should we go? Let us know where you'd like us to go next. So we promised in the beginning of this video we would do an unboxing of this giant box that has, I don't know what's in it. I don't even know who really sent it. Like Kaz was, I wonder if I can even pull it up here. Let me move this out of the way. I don't want to break glass. Oh my God. You know, we come home, there's all these bills and crap. Okay. This is a big box. I can't even... What, are we moving? Are we moving somewhere?
It's
done. From Harrison.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Shoot. You know, maybe should I hop in the back? I should hop in the back so we can actually,
hop in the back.
so we can actually see what is in this box. Ugh. All right. Hold on. You'll.
Is this Eamon's Bucky's bag?
Yeah, we got a bag of Bucky snacks for the producer. All right. I'm gonna have to hop in the back to do this. This is a big box, dude. I have no idea. What this could be. Here, I'll let a little more light in here. So Harrison's our friend. That freaking door. The door's like, please, I want to be done. All right, let's see. Got some major bubble wrap. I've known Harrison for a long time. I have no idea what this could be. You know what this is?
I have an idea. We might have talked.
Okay, as you can see, this is what we're looking at.
We might have talked about something at that festival, that party we played there. We had big dreams. Harrison and I had big dreams together.
What the heck? What the heck is... Well, you know, as someone who mails art and planets around, this is an incredible pack drop. Jesus Christ.
Well, you know, fragile, handle with care. Make sure there's nothing in them Ziploc bags you need.
I think the Ziploc baggies are like... Oh, he put air in them. That's a freaking genius idea.
Wow.
There's air in them like the big bubble wraps? Dude, okay.
He made his own bubble wrap.
What the fuck? Oh my God! Hold on. Let me remove the whole thing.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my God, wait. Here, hold this.
What is that?
And there's what a crazy, okay. Hold on.
Wow, what is going on here?
Holy shit. This is an incredible thing to come home to.
What?
Holy shit.
Is that your very own? Oh, don't let it roll away.
Oh my, it's my very own disco ball?
Custom made.
I'm gonna cry. You made this?
Happy belated.
Battery operated motor, you motherfucker. That's awesome. I say that with love. Holy shit. There's like weight on this. Oh.
Happy belated Christmas.
Oh my God. Harrison, I love you. Thank you. Oh my God. Well, now we gotta book a show to go see Harrison.
That's pretty badass, isn't it?
Holy shit, dude. Sarah's gonna be jealous.
He didn't screw around.
This is a real disco ball. Holy shit.
Custom made a little colored
Harrison, oh
chunks
my
in
God.
there.
This is one of the coolest things I think I've ever gotten. Holy shit.
Oh, it's gonna drive Kika crazy.
Dude. Once we get a bigger van, we're bringing this on tour and we're gonna set it up over the stage. Like, nah, I shit you not. Holy shit.
Bring our own disco ball.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about this. It's so cool.
I mean, it almost fits in here.
Oh, dude. That would be pretty nuts. You imagine, like, it going back and forth the whole ride? Harrison, this is freaking beautiful. Holy shit, dude. I don't know what to say.
Holy smoke, man. He really goes off on that.
He really went off on that. All right. I'm going to gently put this back. Let me hop up there and we'll oh my God, I don't even know I don't know how to handle this ball. Wow, y'all, that was like, that was literally one of the nicest things anyone, like, has ever done for us. They made, like, Harrison made us a disco ball for our home. I don't know where we're going to hang it yet, but we're going to figure it out. That's going to be one of our at-home projects. He made a little note, and I will share it with you because it's just really freaking sweet. Dear Faith and Caswyn, I know it has taken a while for me to fulfill it, but I have never forgotten that I promised you a disco ball of your very own. Every ball I've made has been different, and when I sat down to come up with a pattern for yours, I was inspired by the beautiful planet paintings Faith makes, and specifically the one hanging in our own living room. With that in mind, I have crafted the Great Star Field. I hope that as it spins in whatever space you give it in your home, it evokes the feeling of spiraling through a galaxy of white suns, yellow doors, red giants, and the occasional blue star. When it comes to hanging it, some people get spotlights to shine on it. I personally prefer to hang it near a window that gets direct sunlight and allow it to dazzle up the room during the day.
Yeah.
I have included a motor to spin the ball, but sometimes I find that it spins too quickly, losing some of the patterns effects. And if you ask Matthew, they'll tell you that they actually prefer hanging their ball straight from the fishing line and spinning it by hand. The reason being that you therefore have more connection and control over it, revving the vibe with your very own action rather than an electric motor. Anyway, I hope you like it. My designs tend to hold up, but if you ever have anything go wrong, reach out and I'll do what I can to fix it. Hope to see you again soon. It sounds like Maybon will be in Minnesota rather than Matthew's backyard this year.
Maybe
Much
we'll go back
love,
to the log
Harrison.
jammers.
Well, speaking of the future, like I said, I think I got some ideas for how we're gonna make this whole thing work. But we're going on a 2-hour-long video here right now. I still got to get some auditions in before sunlight goes down. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Harrison, that's literally one of the nicest things. A hug from us in New York to you.
I'll give you some of this cookie if you were here.
Oh, cookie. Yeah, he had to go in and get snacks before we did that. Wow. Really grateful. That puts a timestamp on this tour, y'all. It was the best tour ever. We did it safe and sound. Caswyn, Lulu, and all of our friends out there, we love y'all. Thank you for being on the ride with us. It means more than you know. We're gonna book the 10th tour here soon. We do have a lot of stuff coming up in the Catskills. Tomorrow is Thursday, Dale open mic, and then we got Too Short to Suck film festival this weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun
for that.
Dude, it's going to be so much fun.
Dressed to the nines.
And I could go on about all the events, but it's been a long video, so we will talk more about localities tomorrow with our video of the return to the Dale open mic. We love y'all. Thank you again. We would not be us without you. Seriously. We wouldn't be able to make these tours happen without every single one of you guys coming out to the shows, watching these silly videos, checking up and reaching out to check up on us. And, just all of the venues, all of our musician friends. It just, it really means the world. Love y'all, and we will see you on the next one.